Hello. Welcome to my homestead. I'm Kaye. I should have something really pretty right here, maybe some flowers. This is like, believe it or not, that didn't help very much. Hey, Happy. Patricia is about to sign on. I just heard from her. And thank you, everyone who's here already. Please be sure if you're here for the first time to put your name down and just say, hey, I'm watching from Shangri-La or wherever. We love to keep track of where people are. It takes a few minutes for people to get their notifications and to get them signed in. And so I'm just going to kind of go through what's going on, and then I'll take questions at the half hour. So I wanted to mention that I just made a few quick notes in no particular order. I learned about, this is through my Telegram technology group. One of the really great tech people, is also a great gardener and did a lot of indoor gardening when he was in an apartment. Now he has a farm, but he is trying to develop systems for people with no space to grow food indoors, like in apartments, in small houses, no yards, things like that. He's got all kinds of systems. He's very, very clever. Anyway, I learned about something called Lab today, which is part of Korean farming. And so I started watching this interesting video. I haven't finished it yet, but I did watch how to make the Lab, which is lactose something bacillus. But it's really easy to make. You just, and it's really good for you and your plants and the environment and everything. And you make it by making rice water. I'm condensing I'm not giving you the instructions. You'll have to look it up, but you make rice water. You just soak rice in water for a period of time, and then you pour off the rice and the water, put into a glass container, and then you put in, it's 10 parts milk to 1 part of this liquid. And then you just pour it in. You just pour the rice water into the milk into another glass container, and then you cover it with linen or something on the top. And I think it sits for a few days, and then it separates. And so, like I said, I'm condensing what I learned, but then you scoop off the whey, which is the curd of the milk. You scoop that off, and then you can make cheese out of it if you so desire. Or you can just take this liquid, and this liquid then you can put like as little as a teaspoon. This is what I read. As little as a teaspoon into a gallon of water, and water your plants with it. So it's supposed to be really good. So I'm just passing that along for anybody who doesn't know what that is. It's called Lab. Let's see. Good evening, Patricia. R. McGrath is here. Regina, how are you doing over there in SoCal? Angie's here from Ashland. Daryl is here, of course. Denise is feeling much, much better. Jamela is here from Trinidad. Regina, he left last September. So that's, I haven't had anybody working here since then. So it's just whatever help I've been able to get from my son or, a friend or, like whatever. John has been over here, I think a total of 3 or 4 times for a few hours, not a whole day. So I'm just getting by. And so I've told you about labs, so that's something you might want to investigate. The Korean gardening farming sounds really interesting. The primary concept that I gathered is that you create your own inputs. You don't go down and buy a huge bag of organic fertilizer. You use your own compost tea from your compost, your lab, your various things. So I'm eager to learn more about it. So I just had a little primer from my neighbor who's so great. And he came by and we pulled the tiller out. Now remember, the tiller has not been used since last August when he was here. And so it's been sitting in the shop. I did not put stable or stabil or whatever in the gas, which maybe I should have. The gas has just been sitting in the tank all this time, and it was driven in there muddy. I don't know if that's what you're supposed to do or not, but I didn't know this, but he must have hit a sizable rock, but because there was a bolt that was needed to be replaced on the side panel, which is just like sheet metal that I guess keeps the dirt like underneath and not going out to the sides. So anyway, I went down today to Ace Hardware and I picked up a bolt and nut. It's not the exact right one, but it'll do. So I just had my first little lesson on how to do my tiller, and I think I've got the hang of it. But pretty sure that my neighbor is going to come with his tractor in the morning, and we are going to he is going to turn over the lower garden, the back 40. We might as well call it the back 40, right? It's 100 by 50. So I guess that would be the back 500. No, it's supposed to be the back 40 acres. I know. I made a big joke of that in my California garden because I had a raised bed that was 50 feet square and 50 square feet. And I called it the back 40. It was a joke, because it was right there in my tiny little front yard. And I called it the back 40. So anyway, that's my back 40 here. And I just want to clear enough. I'm going to look at the Dixondale Farms instructions on planting all these onions and see how close I plant them together and how many rows and how deep we need to clear, because I really want to get my onions planted. I did talk to Dixondale. If you get your onions before you're ready, I just couldn't get this ready because we just had so much rain. You might have noticed if you've been watching my channel. By the way, thank you to everyone who has watched my latest videos, and I really appreciate your support. So anyway, I think if all goes well, we have two more. It was sunny and dry yesterday, sunny and dry today, sunny and dry for 2 more days. So if it doesn't happen tomorrow, it'll happen on Thursday. He will come and he has I forget it. It's like 5 tines. I think it's like 3 and 2 or something. It's a small one. And he pulls that behind his tractor and breaks it up, it'll turn over the red clover. I never got to see it bloom. So disappointing, but I guess I just planted it too late because we got that first frost before it was more than that tall. I'm sure it would bloom in the spring if I could, wait and see that happen, but I'm going to need to be planting down there. So we'll see. So that's that. And then I'm going to probably have my onion. I just did a short video on my onion varieties and how she told me to prepare them for the waiting period. Like I said, if you order your onions and you get them before your ground is ready, you've got, she said, 3 to 4 weeks tops. And so I'll be showing you that in a video tomorrow, hopefully. As far as the whole water issues, nothing has been resolved yet. I thought maybe this person that came today could also do that sort of thing. That's not going to happen. But I had a tree person here today, a new one, and so I'm going to have some cleanup. I've got many limbs down. Oh my! I'm not even going to worry about the forest. I'm just worried about all of this area, and going to clean up that island down there in the front yard. And I got a dead pine tree down at the corner of the driveway. That's got to come down. The maple's got to be pruned. So we got some work to do and a lot of cleanup to do. So that is going to happen, but not for 2 weeks. So that's what's going on. I've been recommended to willow trees, and I've been looking up willows. I've been looking at a couple of different sites. If you have recommendations about willows, they were saying that the hybrid willow grows up in I don't know. I just saw one picture, but the trunk looked kind of gnarly, and then it's just kind of like that at the top. The other one, of course, is the weeping willow, but they don't have any, and they don't know when they're going to get any. This particular site, so they did have the bushes, the willow bushes that get to be like 7 or 8 feet tall, or was it 10? But that would be like a beautiful hedge or something. But everybody has said to me numerous times, a lot of people have said, plant willow trees over there where I have so much water. It's fine. I just cannot really be planting permanent, perennials until I get that leak fixed. Because if I have to get some kind of a tractor in there or something, I don't want to disturb any plantings. So I picked up 5 fruit trees on Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. And I've got a plum, Santa Rosa plum, 2 pear, and 2 apples. You need a yellow, delicious apple. That's the best one for helping to pollinate the apple trees, I was told. And I've got a plumber coming tomorrow because of my outdoor faucet on this side. I think I let it freeze. It's gushing water out of the top. And so I'm just going to get it replaced. I can't worry about it anymore. I need water over there. So I think I've brought you up to date with everything that's going on with me. Let me see what people are talking about. Well, what in the world am I supposed to do, Daryl? I've got to lay out long rows of onions. Daryl is saying I should not till or plow the wet soil. It adds to soil compaction, the opposite of what I want. That's true. We're talking about gardening, Abby. Welcome. Where are you writing from? So what am I supposed to do, Daryl? Yes, no kidding, Regina. I think that Nature's Always Right was maybe the website I was looking at for the Korean gardening. Susie's here from Northern Georgia. Angelica Dial, and I forgot where you are. Wow, that's wonderful. And Connie's here from LA. Okay, so I think I'm caught up. Kristen is here. Let's see. Well, what am I supposed to do? I want to lay out nice, neat rows. I'll show you my tools. Actually, I don't know that I can get this open with my hands. No, I can't. I've got to have scissors or something. Anyway, I bought this tool to lay out the rows. I can't lay out rows if I've got the clover there. So what am I supposed to do? You guys, help me out. I can't get that open. Anyway, in there's a pole, and at the end of it is like, it looks like a kind of like a rake. It's about that long, and then you slide the point wherever you want to put your groove, and then you have to have. It's got to be neat, Daryl. I mean, how am I going to get it neat if I don't till it, or what am I going to do? Tracy, what do you think? Felicia Tiba. Oh, thank you. Arizona is hot, hot, hot today. Transplanted 75 veggies. I hope you use some shade cloth. They need time to, well, I'm sure if you live there, you know, they need time to acclimate. Hey, Jay Cree is here. Okay, I do have a stick willow already, but I haven't bought any actual trees. Paula is here from Massachusetts. Daryl, it is going to rain on Sunday. Today's Tuesday, so that leaves me Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And I don't want to do it the day before the rain because it'll all mess up. So what do you propose? Well, I could squeeze in some onions into a bed, but that's not what I wanted to do. I have a whole plan. Connie is saying, do I have room for some of the onions? I have a room for a fraction of the onions, but I was thinking that I've got enough onions for 2 to 3 50-foot rows. I mean, I haven't done the math. I'm terrible at math, but I haven't used the calculator to figure out exactly how many rows I've got. You can do row fronts. What is a row front, Abby? So Gina is here saying, hello, late bloomers. Ed and Lucy is in Scottsdale. Rose is here. Nourish row fronts. I don't know exactly what that means. 2 sticks and a string. Yeah, well, it's going to be more than I think I'm going to need more than 2 sticks, but yeah, I do need to get, I need to get some stakes. I think I'm out of stakes and I need to get those. Connie is asking if my friend bought the house. The closing is not until the 22nd. So she's, got to get a loan and she's got to get the appraisal has to all work out. So that's left to do. So we'll see. But we went over and it's a very nice neighborhood that's like kind of perfect for her needs. She hasn't been a big gardener. She's always been taking care of someone, and working. So she wants to do maybe some raised beds. It's got a very small yard, but the house is sort of perfect. So she has to decide, what she wants to do. Put the onions in the fridge and wait for dry soil. Well, they said to spread them out. Put them in a cold, dry place. Now, is the refrigerator dry? And anyway, now they came here on the 22nd, right? I think 22nd or 23rd. Today's the 1st. So they've been here for 5-6 days, not refrigerated. And my worry is that I'm going to wait too long and then I'm not going to have good results because I'm using onions that have been sitting around. So Christina is saying that my recent rainstorms remind her of Aberdeen, Washington off Grays Harbor, neither of which I am familiar with. The only time I've even been in Washington was flying in and out of Spokane Airport. Um, so basically, well, I'll call them back and see if they say, they said to spread them out. And if you could see, I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least 7 or 8 boxes, trays, at least that many spread out. There's no room in the refrigerator for that. So I would have to redo all that. I don't know. I'm going to have to. Oh, I just remembered I have a refrigerator over there and I could turn it down low, maybe, and just stack the boxes in there because it's pretty empty. Maybe I could do that. Anyway, when is it going to be dry? Last March, we were snowed in for 8 days, so that's wet, you know? And that wasn't the only snow in March. So, I mean, when is it going to be dry? I got to get the onions started. They said for zone 7 that I should receive them this week for planting. So, did I mess up once again and not have the bed ready? I mean, Tom already has his bed ready. He got it ready whenever you do that, whenever you can do that. Let's see. Yes, it was beautiful today. Gretchen is here from Texas. How to Garden is here in subtropical Florida. I was thinking of that today because I saw that I could order a pineapple guava tree, but I would have to keep it in a pot and I would have to bring it in the winter. And I'm just thinking, I need to make things a little bit easier for myself and not have all these plants that I have to take care of inside in the winter. So I don't know. I had 2 pineapple guavas, at least 2, maybe 4, in big 21-inch pots in California. And they never hardly ever, 1 or 2 blooms, 1 or 2 fruit. Man, I put those things in the ground, even with that clay soil. And they grew like gangbusters. There would be thousands of blooms and hundreds and hundreds of pineapple guava. These are intermediate day onions. To answer your question, John. Well, you put all your things along a row together. Let's see. Nourish row fronts. Let's see. Tracy said she makes so many great garden plans. Nature rarely fully cooperates, but she always has a good season. Texture like brownie mix. Texture like brownie mix. I'm trying to think what brownie mix texture is. I don't ever make a mix. Is that like if you did it from scratch? No. Angela is saying that I should wait till my soil is like brownie mix. That would her grandpa would say. Elizabeth is here from Texas. We got more people from Texas. Please talk amongst yourselves and get connected. Let's see. You're supposed to put them in a dry place, so the garage is not going to be dry. Well, it'd be kind of dry. But I wonder, wait, put them in the garage? The garage where all the cats are? Is that what you meant? Or the shop? I guess Christina is saying Grays Harbor has gray skies. That's the norm. So I guess that's why they call it Grays Harbor. Yes, please. You guys hit the thumbs up button. We just have 57 people tuned in right now, but if we could make that 27 go up to 57, that would be great. Or 60 or thank you, Crafty. Oh, there's no question. I'm the first to admit I was spoiled with Cali weather, although, we just never had any rain, which was difficult. I think the side garden needs more work than the lower yard, Denise. Denise is saying, can I plant some of the onions over there? I feel like I need to till that whole thing again. Daryl, you're the one that had me get a tiller, for crying out loud. Now you're telling me I can't use my tiller? This was the last tiller in all the area stores. We couldn't find tillers last year. 19 days till spring? When am I supposed to plant my onions? Debbie is here from California. Ah, yes. Very dry torrents. I just can't imagine what is going to happen with the water issues in California this time. Crumbly. Okay. Yeah, it's supposed to be 70 here tomorrow. That's why I thought, Daryl, that with yesterday, today, tomorrow, and Thursday, I could even do it Friday when it's cloudy, but not sunny. And if he could till, I don't need to do the whole thing. I'm not ready to plant that whole thing. I just wanted to do about, I don't know, 15 feet off of the top end where it's a little bit more level. Because if he could do that, then could go back in with the what did you say about the tiller, Daryl? Already forgot. Pineapple guava. Remind me where you are, how to garden, if you're growing pineapple guava. Well, pineapple guava grew great in my clay soil in my parkway in California. But what I noticed with pineapple guava is it gets gnarly little hairy roots all around the surface area. And you can't plant anything underneath. Plus, they grow a skirt down. So that's, it's a very full kind of bush. So you can't really plant anything at the bottom because there's no water. It sucks up all the water. Let's see. Okay, Elizabeth is here from Arizona. Where did you say you're from, Abby? Well, you can't put wood chips into where you're going to be planting because that will rot as they break down. They take nitrogen, so you don't want to take nitrogen from your young plants. So wood chips can only be on the top. And adding sand, I would have to have somebody deliver a truckload of sand, which would cost me hundreds of dollars. So that's probably not going to happen. Wait till Saturday to till and plant onions and let the Sunday rain weather. Okay. Thank you, Daryl. I appreciate it really. Oh, right. You're in Florida. You just said that. How to Garden is in Florida, so she can grow pineapple guavas. I just love pineapple guavas. They're so pretty. The flowers are stunning. Okay, all right, that's my plan. I will text him and say, I mean, I'm not sure that I need him to bring the tractor over with the thing if I've got the tiller, because we did that before. Do you think that is a necessary step, that it would be helpful? I mean, I know well, onions basically grow on the surface almost of the soil and all the roots go down below, but the bulb of the onion actually winds up sitting on top of the soil. Pretty interesting. Uh no, Happy, I said that in the beginning. No momentum, no movement on the water issues yet. Louisiana, okay. Oh, wow. Let's see, you just said you were in Torrance, and you're gonna grow wheat in Torrance. That should be interesting. Uh, Weed ate the clover. Uh-huh. Okay, I have 2 rototillers, which I've never used, and one is, I don't mean rototiller, sorry, a weed eater. And, one is battery powered, and I think the clover for that would just be fine. The other one is, gas powered. I'd much prefer to do so weed eat the clover. Well, I could do it tomorrow. I could do that tomorrow. Well, yeah, Gina, I could. That was what my neighbor was offering to do. Where am I gonna get a mower, Daryl? You know I don't have a mower. Nobody's gonna come over here with a mower for a 10-minute job. I can't do that. I can, weed whack it. Right? I think I'm caught up. Let's see. What else? Tiling. Somebody sent me a video to look at about tiling. Now, I don't know how I missed this, but tiling has evidently been something that, I guess it depends on where your land is located, but where these big industrial farmers use tiling, they put tiling down 3 feet down. I think it's 3 feet. And they put in perforated pipe all through these fields. I mean, not every row, but kind of like every 3 or 4 rows, zigzagging all over these fields. And what it does, it's really interesting. What it does is when the water table gets up to that level of that pipe, it gets carried out the pipe, and it doesn't. So if, like in the fields, if you've got something growing in the fields that has roots going down, if it gets too waterlogged, there's no oxygen for the roots. So that's something that they were, telling me I should look at for my problem back here. I can't see putting a 3-foot gash down in the side of that hill, though. I'm afraid the whole hill would come down if I did that. But it was interesting. I hadn't seen that before. But that's a really big, expensive input. That's the industrial farmers. I mean, one tractor can be $500,000. It's crazy. Let's see. So Gina says, let my neighbor do it Saturday morning. Then I'll do my furrows and onions in the early afternoon. I could do that. Oh yes, Chris, I had huge passion fruit vines in California. I had a big one in the front and an even bigger one in the back. It had a lot of passion fruit, and we would make juice. I actually have a passion fruit juice video because I had a woman that worked for me on Fridays who's from El Salvador, and she made the juice the way they do it down there. She takes the seeds out, strains the seeds out, and oh, it was so good. You mix that with something or other, it's so good, so good. So you mean some more equipment? Patricia's saying get some equipment to go behind your four-wheeler. I have a rake. I have a dump trailer. And now what are you telling me I should get? A plow? I actually really looked at plows last year, and then I wound up getting the tiller because I saw this one video, and this plow behind the four-wheeler was literally just like, it was like 2 inches it was cutting into the soil, and I just said, I need deeper cuts than that. Chris says, I recommend rows high up that allows for drainage. Well, Chris, you may have missed my last video, but I have a lot of water coming off the hill. I'm not going to try to grow anything back here. I mean, at some point I might put trees in, but I have to have all that work done first. So I can't move forward with that. Yeah, I know. It was like this little dinky thing, though. You know, you drive it around and around and around. It was like it was only digging down like that much. But at any rate, what was I saying? Yeah, so I'm just wondering if I can just do the tilling myself. Or if I should let him do it. The way he did it before, and this was after we took the silage tarp up, he had this, I forget what you call it, but it had, in the front it had three or four hooks, and then it had one less in the back. Where this was, it had 3 more, and it looked like that. What are they called? Ah. Oh, wow. Well, I'm sorry for your loss, Tracy. She says her uncle just died this week. He gardened right up until age 84. Bravo. He grew an acre of corn and an acre of potatoes. That's a lot of potatoes every year. It gave him joy to give food away. The thing is, if you have an acre of potatoes, is going to turn up a lot more food than an acre of corn. Especially if you have squirrels or other, raccoons or whatever. It's hard to get a whole crop out. I wonder what he did to keep the critters out of that corn. Mine is a rear tine tiller. A harrow, thank you. He had a harrow, and he first did that, and then he did he had a disc, but it was only a 5-foot disc. It was very small, and it was just like an antique that somebody had left there 20 or 30 years ago. And so he used that, and then he went to get his side-by-side, and he came back and drug a chain behind it to kind of break up the clods. And then after that, we planted the clover, and right after we planted the clover seed, it rained. And so it was all working beautifully, and the clover just came up. You saw it back in the October, November. It was gorgeous. It was like this tall, green, bright green. And then we got those freezes, and it just kind of went, that's all I'm doing. Okay. I'm not doing anymore. And so, He had very good dogs. Oh, very good dogs kept the deer away from the corn. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ah, that's the way to go. I'm telling you. That's the way to go. Mm. Ah, gave away amaryllis bulbs. Well, my amaryllis, believe it or not, it's got another one coming up. I think I'm going to have more. I hope. I thought they would be done by now, but I have so many seedlings, guys. I have a lot of Egyptian spinach. Daryl, you should try to grow a little Egyptian spinach. It's very nutritious. Jack Davis is the one that gave me the seeds and got me started on that. I grew it in California. We'll see how it does here. I don't know. But the pharaohs ate Egyptian spinach to keep them well. So I think that, anything that we can eat now to keep you well is a great thing. I just saw this video yesterday about, I forget the channel, but he was just talking about how nutritious blackberries are for you. So I'm going, oh man, what did I have? Like 1 or 2 cupfuls total last year? It's like, oh man, I've got 3 new raspberry vines and I don't know where I'm going to plant them. So, Daryl, maybe you could come over and go do the 20. I actually have 20, not 30. I thought I have 20 hazelnut bushes. 5 of these dogwoods that my neighbor just told me are not really for this zone. So I might have made a mistake getting those. But he said they grow west of the Mississippi and farther north from here. So, but I know that the guy knew that I lived in Tennessee and he gave the green light for the hazelnut bushes. So hopefully the dogwoods will work. But I'd like to get some willows into the mix. And then I'm getting 3, they're like 7, 8 feet tall already, crepe myrtle, which are very pretty. And they said they bloom from July to first frost. So, yeah, so things are coming along. I don't know where these things are going to go yet. But the guy that I bought the fruit trees from, he thought that this man, I could make it worth his while if I gave him several trees to plant. It'd be worth his while to come up here and do that from Smithville. So we'll see. Hopefully things are moving along. I did not get to see my mother on Sunday because I had company here, ate a lot of Indian food, she cooked every night and we had Indian food every night. And I'm sorry, I don't have any videos to show you. But what I gather from watching her cook and hearing her talk is that Indian food, if the spices, you have to cook the spices for a long time. If you don't, it just doesn't taste good. You can't just cook like me, throw in a little cumin, throw in a little of this, throw in the meat and it's done. Now she would cook the spices for like 40 minutes before she would put the meat or vegetables into it. So that's just a little tip in case you guys are not familiar. Let's see. "12 days till daylight savings time." Yeah, I don't know why we have that. The sun is setting later though. I mean, it's 5:44 and it's still light. So supplemental feed for rabbits and goats. You mean just the branches, the willow branches? I actually do. Daryl just asked me if I still have the weeping willow tree start that he gave me. Yes, I do. It's in a pot. It never got planted. And the thing is, that thing is just gushing water over there from two places. I think I spotted another leak myself. I'm not sure. But it looked like it was leaking out of the mortar in the corner, which I think you can fix that. I think that there is a cement that you could slap on the outside of that. Correct me if I'm wrong. That you can even use while the concrete block is wet, and it will still harden and seal. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Anybody know about that stuff? I forget the name of it. Anyway, I want to plant the willow over there where the water is. It's just I can't plant anything until we get that thing sorted out. So I've got a lot of things that need to be planted. I've got Angie's hibiscus. What is it? There's so many hibiscuses. The really pretty one. Rose of Sharon. The Rose of Sharon is leafing out in the garage. Now, I'm thinking if I put that outside now, it's going to put it into shock. And that I should probably leave all that stuff in the garage until the end of March. That's what I'm thinking. Rubber cement. I don't remember the word rubber being in it. Yeah, right, Angie. So those two that you sent me, well, I've got 2 pots of it, and I could probably separate that, take them out of the pots and separate them and plant them out. And I want them somewhere where I can see them from looking out the window, I just have one little window in the kitchen here. It's very dark and dreary in here. If I didn't need, if those 7, 8 cabinets were not completely packed, I would say, oh, let's just rip all those cabinets off and make all of that window. But I can't launch into any kind of projects like that with things that have to be fixed, with the economy doing what it's doing. I mean, I don't even know what to say about all that. Stock market's plunging. So, it's just who knows what's going to happen. So, okay. Dry lock. Is it work like that, Haffy? It doesn't sound familiar, but that might have been what they said. I mean, I just need somebody that knows what they're doing to fix it. That's the thing. Because it's so wet that's going down the hill, and it's so wet there. Wow. Paint it on. Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. These that I was looking at, Gretchen, are like tall bushes. They're not like a single. I did see in that neighborhood where Benita was looking at a house, they have crepe myrtle that come up like with one trunk and then go like that. But the ones that he has are several stems coming from the ground. So, and he's got them tied together. So I'm assuming it's just going to fall out like that when they're open. And those are already like at least 7 feet tall. So I think that could be a really nice addition. I want it somewhere I can see it though, so I'm not sure. This has been my problem from the beginning. Like I put my elderberry plants down on that bank over there because it's great sun. But guess what? That's where all the deer walk by every day. you know. So I've got a little bit of wire around them, but it's not enough. I've got to do something else or move them. Paul is here. Yeah, come on, y'all. Hit the like button. If you're on mobile, it's very simple. You just click off the live chat window. You don't have to go off the live stream, but just click off the live chat and you'll see that and you'll hit that and you'll come right back. And it really does help analytics. It's starting to move. Come on, let's get it up to 69. Oh, man. So I'm starting Daryl has lost 10 pounds at least, 10 and a half pounds. Daryl says, no matter what happens, you're always ahead of the game if you're eating homegrown food. Yes, that's definitely. And so, what was I just saying? Interrupted myself. Oh, yeah, Daryl has been fasting. He's been on a juice fast for 10 or 12 days and has lost 10 and a half pounds. And now I have to do it. I didn't do it today, but I did eat less today. And so it's just I have vegetables in the refrigerator that have been in there for a week, which aren't the most nutritious. So, but I have to start tomorrow. I have to make juice and I have to start tomorrow because I'm leaving here at 3:30 in the morning on the 24th. And I have to be 10 pounds less. That's final. Heather is here, nearly midnight. So glad you made it. Thank you. Yes, Daryl went one day with just water. He didn't even get hungry. And I know I used to fast every year. I fasted, and usually it was in January, but sometimes it was that lemonade fast, and sometimes it was just green juice. But yeah, I've done it, but not for a long time. Yes, we have 70 people. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Kaye. We have a lot of regulars on the live stream, and they all know each other. And you can become part of the community if you subscribe and start following my channel. So if you're new and you haven't subscribed, I hope you will subscribe and click the bell for notifications, scroll down and click all so you won't miss an upload. And now we just need to get that 49 up to 70. That's only 21. I think we can do it. I do, Angela. I do. And Tom Anderson said he had them all over the place at his place. So I don't want to put you out because you already went to a lot of trouble to send me those. So let me see if I can get down there. What I want to do is, oh gosh, I better call him tonight. I told him I wanted to come down and see him plant his onions and do a video. And then I would know how to do it. I did buy the, what's it called? Is it ammonium sulfate? Did I say that right? Supposedly really good for onions and potatoes, I think, or for sure onions. And so Daryl says the like button has stopped delivering an electric shock. It's okay to push that button now. So let's see. So let me see if I can get down to Tom's and maybe I can get some from him, and then it will save you the trouble, Angela. But yes, I do need some of those walking onions. And what I want to do is I want to develop permaculture guilds. Is anybody else doing this? I want to do each fruit tree because I wanted my sort of orchard area over here I wanted it all to be like cardboarded and wood chipped so that I didn't have crabgrass and whatever all those grasses are out there. I wanted to kind of knock that back and to have it really neat looking. But Tom said, don't worry about it. Just start planting stuff around the trees. He said to plant comfrey, daylilies, gooseberries. I haven't been able to get gooseberries. They don't have them at Lowe's. And the guy I bought the trees from couldn't get any of those. So I don't know where I'm going to get those. Yes, I've been advised about that. Rita is reminding us that before you use any potting soil or seed mix, sterilize it with boiling water. Now, how do I do that? Then do you have to strain it out of this water, or do you let it just absorb into the soil? Just physically, what's the best way to do that? Fedco? What am I looking for at Fedco? I don't know about currants. And actually, I don't know. Yeah, you pour it over the soil, but then you got wet sopping soil, right? Or are you saying just if you do that, it's enough and then it'll soak in? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, gooseberry plants, it's not the same as Cape gooseberry. I mean, I don't think it is. I'm going to have to ask him about that. I assumed it was something different. The way he described it, I thought it was actually a different plant. Because I have Cape gooseberry seeds. So I don't want to start seeds. I want plants. Plant. I want plants. I don't think it's the same thing. I could be wrong. These are bushes. Ground cherries are an annual, right? They don't come back, do they? Anybody? My experience is that they run their course just like a tomato. It's in the tomato family. So I thought gooseberries were a totally different thing. In fact, I think I saw when I was in northern Germany, I think she had gooseberries, and it did not look like the Cape gooseberry. Right, that's what he was saying. They get these little bushes. Okay. Okay, so where do anybody have any thoughts about where I can get gooseberry bushes? Right. Rose says ground cherries are an annual and are a nightshade, which I knew, but I just not sure what gooseberries are. I don't think, I was just looking at their website, and I don't think they have, well, let's see, it would be in berry plants, right? Oh man, aronia. Oh, I kept trying aronia in California. I didn't have any luck, probably because I didn't have enough space. Oh, they got goji and gooseberry. Thank you. But they're not cheap. I noticed that today. Let's see. They only have one goji variety, and it's compatible with my area, and it's $35. And I wonder how big the pot is. They have 100, by the way, Stark Brothers has a 110% survival guarantee. But they don't say how big the pot is. I would hate to pay $36 for a 1-gallon pot. Wow. They have, oh my goodness, they have 5 total kinds of gooseberry. Goji berries, but they're out of stock. Wow. Okay. They're all out of stock. They only have the one. Let's see about the gooseberries. Come on. Okay. Yes, I remember now. Yeah, she had the green gooseberries in northern Germany. So there's Hinnenmaki red, and that's $19. In Pixwell gooseberries, $19. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's a one. It's self-pollinating, so that's good. But it doesn't say anything more, so I don't know. I'll have to look into that. Where am I? Here we are. Okay. Do I have snowdrops primroses? Not that I know of, unless that grows wild. I'm going to write that down. Are they, that must be a perennial. Yeah, but Gurney's, didn't Gurney's sell to Monsanto or something? Somebody was saying that last week. Yes, the bare root gooseberry. I just saw that. Yeah. Thank you, Connie. Nancy S. is here. He was saying the thorns are not a big problem. Are they, Daryl? But he was saying it for that reason, because it keeps, he said, you plant that around your fruit trees and the deer don't like to get into that. I said, what do you mean? They eat rose bushes, thorns and all. I don't get it. Oh, you have gooseberries everywhere. They love, love, love them. Okay, so I'm wrong. Okay. Pollen. Chris, I bought 2 pawpaw trees last year. One of them got planted in the ground. I couldn't figure out where I should plant the other one. They get, fairly decent size. And you got to have 2. So the other one's in a pot in the garage, so it's got a year behind the other one. I don't know how that's all going to go, but I definitely want pawpaws, and I know that they do better more in like the edge of, not just out in the middle of blasting sun everywhere. They like it a little bit more tucked in. Yes, I know, Haffy. I know Haffy is correcting me about Bayer. We used to call it Bayer aspirin, Bayer, but it's really buyer, and buyer bought Monsanto, and I'm sure they regretted it. I feel sure that they regretted it. It's been nothing but trouble ever since they did it. But who knows? Maybe they're raking in the dough anyway. Okay. Hey, I think we've gotten all of our questions, and it's 6:05. So since everybody has had a chance to ask a question, I think I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I really appreciate you watching my channel, supporting my channel, and please hit the like button on your way out. We got 11 more of those to try to get to. So God bless you. Have a wonderful week. Stay safe and healthy, and work towards your preps, because we don't know what's coming down the pike. So take care, everybody. Have a great night.